Hi, my name's Justine and I'm going to explain each card of the Major Arcana to you in a way that will make the meanings more apparent just by looking at the imagery, therefore limiting the need for study. What is useful to learn though is the planet or zodiac associations of each card, which may expand any potential meanings. I'm not going to tell you the meanings that you will not automatically see when you look at the cards, so this is a great way to learn the Major Arcana intuitively without trawling through book after book. So we're going to start with card 0, the Fool, and end at card 21, the World. The Fool, ruled by the planet Uranus, impulsive, change and transformation. Air controls the Fool, smart thinkers, Aquarius, Libra and Gemini. The Fool in the tarot deck mostly, but not always, is card 0. Now you would think this would make him directionless, but in numerology this means freedom from limitations and represents potential, because anything's possible when we believe in ourselves. The imagery on the card suggests he looks happy and confident on his journey ahead. He's about to step off a cliff, and perhaps this is a sign he is ready to take a risk. It looks like he's stepping into the unknown, but who knows what he can see that we can't. He may be just taking a leap of faith that he's doing the right thing, but he's prepared to take the chance. He's throwing caution to the wind and just going for it. In my mind, his little dog doesn't appear to be stopping him. Dogs are loyal, and you can see he trusts his master and is prepared to go with him, suggesting the little dog believes in him as much as he believes in himself. So the imagery on this card is about new adventures, being spontaneous, trusting our hearts and our gut feelings, and not being afraid to try new things or accept new challenges. The Magician, ruled by the planet Mercury, communication, intellect, logic and creativity. Air controls the Magician, smart thinkers, Aquarius, Libra and Gemini. The Magician is card 1 in the tarot, beginnings. Now when I look at the imagery, I like to imagine that the Magician is on his planet Mercury, pointing his all-powerful wand, directing it to the earth. The lemniscate, or symbol of infinity above his head, is a sign of his power, and the table in front of him shows he holds all the power over the elements, swords, wands, pentacles and cups. Suggesting he's in control of air, his thinking, water, his emotions, fire, he's in control of his own creativity, and earth, his stability and finances. In other words, he has the power to create success in anything he chooses, and of course he can use his biggest skill of all, communication. So the Magician tells us to go and grab what we want, to use our power to manifest anything we choose, to be who we want, to make it happen. So the Magician card is encouraging us to be positive and confident and control our own destiny. The High Priestess, ruled by the Moon, secrecy, intuition, subconscious. Water controls the High Priestess, emotions. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Looking at the imagery, we see she sits between two pillars, and because of that she creates a sense of balance and neutrality. After all, she sits slap bang in the middle, favouring neither pillar, so this would suggest she remains neutral in most situations. The tree that goes behind her gives her stability because of course the trees are stable, but its fruit gives her fertility, so this could suggest pregnancy. She's guarding a scroll, the Torah. Now even if you don't know anything about the Torah, you can see she's holding it close to her and not letting us see its contents. So this may suggest she is keeping a secret. So this makes her wise enough to know when to keep a secret and not get involved. She sits without expression, manifesting an almost poker face, patiently waiting and watching. And she's ruled by the Moon, therefore she uses her intuition on when to get involved and when not to. So the message here in this card could be to limit our involvement in certain matters, knowing when to guard secrets, carefully considering things by applying our intuition before we jump in with too much involvement. The Empress, ruled by the planet Venus, love, fertility and harmony. Earth controls the Empress, Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn. The Empress is in a lush garden of plenty. The garden is abundant with fruit, life, crops, water and growth. So there we get a feeling straight away of abundance. Carved into a throne is a symbol of fertility. Now this may suggest pregnancy, mothering or nurturing. So if the card arrives in our reading, it may imply a baby or someone in a caring profession such as a nurse or a midwife, but it's a hopeful and fresh energy. And because the Empress is known as the mother of the tarot, there is a definite motherly energy surrounding this card. So this energy is of abundance, giving, caring, nurturing, love and harmony. Someone will be kind or gentle or gracious to us perhaps, or this is the energy we must manifest. The Emperor, related to the sign of Aries, strength, ambition and dominance. Fire controls the Emperor, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. The Emperor, card number 4 in the tarot, representing stability. Looking at the imagery, we see a long white beard, a symbol of his wisdom, 2 rams sitting either side of his throne, a symbol of strength. Just think of a battering ram. He's wearing armour, which is a symbol of protection. So he's obviously a leader because he sits on a throne and holds an orb and a sceptre in his hands, which gives him an element of dominance. But dominance more like a father, as he is known as the father of the tarot, just like the mother of the tarot is the Empress. So putting all that together, what we see is someone or an energy of guidance, encouragement, a giver of advice. A strong and stable person who can lead. So in a reading, this energy could be surrounding us as a father, a teacher or a boss, or perhaps we are this energy that is surrounding others. The Hierophant, related to the sign of Taurus, stability, wisdom, conservative. Earth controls the Hierophant, Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn. The Hierophant is card number 5 of the Major Arcana, representing obstacles. So what do we see in this card? We see 5 monks being blessed by the Hierophant as they kneel before him, which suggests submission or discipline perhaps. Of course, the scene is a religious one, also suggesting some sort of belief and organisation, but perhaps encouraging us to live by a certain order or follow a certain belief system with traditional values. Get married, go to school, knuckle down, get a job, study, join a society or a group, live well. So the Hierophant is about following a structured order of things, do what society expects from us, and by doing that we will avoid obstacles getting in our way. Stick with tradition and traditional values. The Lovers, related to the sign of Gemini, interaction, trade, duality. Air controls the Lovers, Aquarius, Gemini and Libra. The Lovers is card number 6, representing harmony. Now in this card there's an abundance of imagery to see, but if you don't know what all the symbols mean in the card, it can still be a little daunting to try and work it all out. But it looks like the guys on the card are coming together in a union, and the angel above seems to be blessing them as they bond together. Now the Lovers card may also look like a biblical scene representing the Garden of Eden. So imagine, if you will, they're a version of Adam and Eve. So if we start there, we can see the tree behind Eve with the fruit that represents temptation and choices. But she must choose whether to eat the fruit or not. Also, they're both naked, symbolising their vulnerability, but they look comfortable enough with each other to be naked. They don't appear to be hiding anything. So the message here is trust, love, union, and life's temptations, including choices only we can make. The Chariot, related to the sign of Cancer, emotional, nurturing, sensitive. Water controls the Chariot, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. In this card imagery, the Chariot looks like he's leaving home or going on a journey as the town is behind him. Now it appears he's a little unsure of his direction because the Sphinx that are pulling his chariot are both pulling in opposite directions, and he doesn't appear to have a firm grip on the reins. So this message is saying move forward confidently, but first we must gain control to be able to go where we want, whatever the path or adventure. So this card's about moving forward with confidence, but to gain confidence first we need control. And as the 7s in tarot represent challenges, this may be the challenge we must overcome. By controlling our own journey through life confidently, we may avoid continuously going around in circles. Strength, related to the sign of Leo, strength of will, endeavour, passion. Fire controls strength, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. This card is about inner will. And if we look at the image, she appears to be taming a lion, not by force or cruelty, but with a calm and gentle hand. She uses her kindness and her will to calmly caress the lion, bringing him to submission. Although he could turn on her at any moment, he chooses to stay and submit to her. So her mind over matter, her strength of character has allowed her to complete this task without using brute force. The symbol of power above her head, along with the lush and abundant scenery, suggests she has a power inside her so strong that if she wishes to apply it, she can overcome adversity. The Hermit, related to the sign of Virgo, reflection, consideration, inaction. Earth controls the Hermit, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Now here is a man walking in the darkness in a snowy and icy environment with only a lamp and a few stars to illuminate his path. So where is he and what is he doing? Is he searching for something, or does he just need some time alone? Is he taking time out to consider something? Perhaps he enjoys being on his own. Perhaps he just needs to get away for a bit and be by himself. And it looks quite a lonely scene, but if you look at him, he is quite old, and judging by his long white beard, quite wise too, suggesting he knows what he's doing and he chooses to take this time alone, perhaps to reflect on something or to find a solution to a problem. If you think about the stars, they have been used throughout time for navigation as a directional aid. So maybe he's trying to find a new direction or navigate his way through something or a situation. He is exploring something that perhaps he can only do while he is alone. So the Hermit card represents time to reflect, spending time alone, searching for answers, considering something as we journey within ourselves. The Wheel of Fortune relates to the planet Jupiter. Fire controls the Wheel of Fortune, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. The Wheel of Fortune is what it says. Luck, fortunes, good times, bad times. It all depends on who is spinning the wheel. It may be the little angel, but then again it may be the little devil. There may be opportunities or there could be challenges, but there always remains choices. What goes around has a habit of coming around. So there's a certain idea of karma attached to the Wheel of Fortune. Perhaps it's about making the right decision, taking the positive opportunities. There may be something unexpected about to happen, positive or not so positive. But remember, things can always change and nothing is forever. So there's potential positive outcomes surrounding us when this card shows up. But it's up to us to grab the opportunities that are presented to us. And it's up to us to see what's really on offer and to recognise its potential as an opportunity or a positive omen. Justice. Related to the sign of Libra. Air controls justice. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Well, just like the High Priestess and the Hierophant, she stands between two pillars. So we know that represents balance. She holds the scales of justice and truth in one hand. Again, the scales are nicely balanced too. And in her other hand, she holds a sword. Remember air. Thoughts, belief, conflict, truth, knowledge, power. Remember the sword is double-edged, which gives this thinking sign a positive and negative characteristics also. Justice suggests matters of law, people in authority and contracts. And if you look at the scenery, she looks like she's standing outside a courtroom. So there are the matters of law. So with the Justice card, there will be a need for order, balance, integrity, truth and justice. And by taking a balanced view or a fair judgment of a situation, we can make the right decision or receive a favourable decision ourselves. The Hanged Man relates to the planet Neptune, dreams and illusions. Water controls the Hanged Man, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. The Hanged Man is suspended from a tree by one ankle upside down. Now he has his hands free, so there's no reason why he hasn't lifted himself up and untied himself. It appears he has the power of thought to do that, judging by the shining nimbus around his head, suggesting he's become enlightened to a situation. But he chooses to hang there like that. Perhaps he needs to see something from a different perspective. Perhaps he's just giving up something or sacrificing something by holding back and staying where he is. Perhaps he just needs a rest or to slow down a bit and consider all his options. And by looking at things from a different angle, he may see something new. There may be a period of waiting and he's biding his time while he waits for the right moment. Perhaps it means we must leave something we've been doing to be able to move on to the next stage. Because if you look at the symbolism in the card, and even if you don't know what a snake represents, most of us know a butterfly represents transformation of some kind or another, suggesting he's considering transforming his life, perhaps even giving up something. But first he must step back and look at everything from a new perspective. Death. Related to the sign of Scorpio, new actions. Water controls death, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Everyone worries about receiving the death card or reading it for others, but it rarely ever means physical death, but more of an ending of something. So when we look at the death card, we see a figure representing death, or the Grim Reaper as he may be known, riding a horse. He is moving out of a skeletonized darkness on his journey, but he's travelling toward the light, transforming himself and his horse back to a bodily state, suggesting transformation, transition, change. It's a cycle that must be accepted, out with the old and in with the new, or a change is as good as a rest, or so they say. Perhaps something we are doing or have done has come to an end because the sun in the sky is rising, heralding a new day and a new beginning. So it's an end to old habits and beliefs. So this card is about change to old ways, and therefore a new phase may be about to start. Temperance. Related to the sign of Sagittarius, adjustments creating optimism. Fire controls temperance, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. Now, although the figure in the Temperance looks like a female, she actually has no particular gender, again representing a balance and harmony. There's a path behind her that leads to a big shiny crown, suggesting perhaps that if we try another path in life, it may lead to riches of some sort. And when rain transforms to sun, there is a rainbow. So she's transforming herself in some way. She's dipping her toe into the water as if to test it is safe to enter. So could this suggest she's moderating things in her life and doesn't want to dive all the way in to swim, but is happy to paddle for a while? So she's asserting her self-control. The 2 cups that she's transferring the water between perhaps is a transfer of emotions and feelings and intuition, all the things in life that the cups represent. She's trying to balance the cups equally. In other words, she's trying to bring balance, harmony and moderation to her life. So that is what the Temperance represents. Harmony, balance and moderation. The Devil, related to the sign of Capricorn, materialism, temptation, calculation. Earth controls the Devil, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So here we have the Devil riding a chariot that's been pulled by 2 naked individuals. They each wear a cloak that's adorned with images of grapes, a sign of riches. They're both chained to the chariot, but again, as with the hangman, their hands are free to release themselves from pulling this mighty weight if they want to, but again, they choose not to, and instead they pull the Devil through his fiery pit. Are they afraid to release themselves perhaps, or do they enjoy pulling this weight, or are they just in acceptance of their fate? Perhaps they're dependent on the Devil as much as he's dependent on them. So without going at any of the symbolism in this card and just concentrating on the imagery, we can imagine that although they are in this dreadful looking situation, they're each wearing nice cloaks that look rich and opulent. So could this suggest that they've sold their soul to the Devil, so to speak, to receive material goods or pleasures? Or perhaps they're just too used to wearing these nice cloaks to break free, and it doesn't appear to be their choice to stay in this situation. So in other words, they've created this situation for themselves and are too scared to give it up. But each day they stay, they forge more links for their chains. So perhaps this is telling us a lesson in materialism, or being addicted to something or a situation that we can gain control of, but only if we choose to. The Tower relates to the planet Mars, anger, aggression, sudden troubles. Fire controls the Tower, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. Well, if we look at the imagery, it says it all. There are lightning strikes on this building, chaos as people fall to their doom, waves lashing the building, clouds, rain. This card has it all. So there is something of a catastrophe here. Something chaotic is going on. There is turmoil, upset, disruption. Something is trying to get our attention, warning us perhaps of an impending situation that doesn't look pretty. This is the sort of card that warns us to make adjustments now to avoid any chaotic situations arriving in the future. The Star, related to the sign of Aquarius, intelligent, enlightened, independent. Air controls the Star, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. In the imagery on the Star, we see a woman in celestial skies pouring water onto the earth as if to irrigate it, so she is therefore encouraging life, growth, new beginnings, rejuvenation. The Star card is a card of positivity, and this is a positive action she's doing. The stars themselves in the sky are a way for centuries we have navigated travel, so this of course is a suggestion of travel of some kind. And when we think of old sayings regarding the stars, such as reach out, grab a star and let it guide us to our destination, and by having hope we will arrive, or wishing upon a star, is to do what we wish and follow our dreams, by letting this card inspire us to achieve what we want, keeping faith and hope in the forefront of our mind. The Star is a card of new directions, and it may be guiding us to new destination. The Moon, related to the sign of Pisces, unclear situations, wrong impressions. Water controls the Moon, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. The imagery on the Moon card is of a woman sitting on a crescent moon, and she is not really noticing what's going on around her. Her attention seems to be elsewhere. The dogs below are howling in her direction as if to warn her of something, but what? The lighthouses remind me of the pillars we see in the High Priestess and Justice cards, and that between them she's representing a balance of some sort. So is something in balance or out of balance? Now the Moon, as we know, controls the sea, and the sea appears a little choppy, which implies something is up in the air, perhaps an emotion as it's water. Because the Moon is a crescent moon, its full illumination is not possible, also suggesting that there may be shadows lurking. There looks like a little confusion around this card. She's not picking up on the warnings from the dog, and with the light of the moon only at half measures, there's a possibility that not everything will be as clear or illuminated for her. So the moon card therefore represents confusion, insecurities, isolation, unclear situation. Perhaps things are not what we first thought. The sun relates to our sun, positivity, strength and success. Fire controls the sun, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. Just looking at the imagery on this card, we see happiness, gaiety, warmth, innocence because of the child. The white horse in nearly all storybooks represents the good and the strong. So already these keywords are telling us that this is a real card of positivity. The positive energy here suggests we should live life to the fullest. Everything's going to be okay. It's trying to inspire us, motivate us, push us in positive direction. Basically, it's a big yes card. Judgment relates to the planet Pluto, sacrifice, punishments, transformation. Fire controls judgment, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. The imagery on the Judgment card is a godly looking figure sitting on a cloud with a phoenix rising behind him, and while the souls of the earth people are being taken up to this higher place on the cloud. Some get chosen but some do not, and perhaps they must wait until they've deserved their place on their cloud. So to me this suggests we are being judged by things that we may have previously done, so it implies punishments and rewards. It's a realisation that the paths we choose may decide the outcome of our future. Perhaps we are judging others. We could be the figure sitting on the cloud making the decision over other people's future, but it's a card that awakens us to this possibility, perhaps reminding us not to judge too harshly because one day it may be us being judged. The world. The world relates to the earth, boundaries. Earth controls the world. Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. In the imagery, there is a naked woman standing upon the earth that is enclosed by a snake that is eating its own tail. All the elements are within this circle: fire, water, air and earth. She's holding a wand in each hand, suggesting she holds the power over her own creativity and how she can create anything for herself, just like the magician does, as she has all the elements within her circle of life. Perhaps she's come full circle with her own achievements. Her cycle or phase has come to completion and perhaps has resulted in certain accolades, praise or good results. So not only is this a card of conclusions and completion, because with every ended cycle a new one must begin. There are new possibilities including travel, as this is the world after all. All this therefore representing travel, accolades, praise, completion, rebirth and regeneration. That concludes Lesson 1, Learning to Intuitively Read the Major Arcana. If you enjoyed this short video, join me for Lesson 2, the Minor Arcana. And if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel so you will be notified of all new videos I post. If you like my deck I'm using, the Pathway Tarot, please let me know and give it a thumbs up too. And if you'd like a deck, then simply head over to my shop at thetarotmentor.com. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.